bring you news, bring you information, and bring divers together.
All right, so I think we're online now. You want to say hello to anybody in particular you want to say hello to tonight that's watching on Facebook or listening on the radio?
Well, I think in the last couple of weeks we've spoken to a lot of people that are in the industry. We've been into a number of stores, a number of wholesalers. So I'd like to say welcome to all of you. This radio show is for you guys. You know, so anticipate, like this page, share this page, and let's get this show going so we can bring the information we need. We can grow this industry.
I'd like to say thank you to a number of people tonight who've made the show possible. So first of all, thanks to Carsten and Mobile Warehouse. They have made the gear available that puts the show on the air. You can pop along and buy your data as well as prepaid electricity at www.themobilewarehouse.co.za. Also, thank you to the Sodwana Bay, I keep wanting to say Page Tanner. Thank you to the Sodwana Bay page. Page Tanner will be in with us in just a little while. We're broadcasting through the Sodwana Bay page this evening. Also, Scubaversity is featured on the show, as well as ScubaPro South Africa. Pop along to Facebook and like them. And then look at my page, Tom London, on Facebook. If you like that page, you'll get all the content, the whole week's content, in fact. Tonight, tomorrow, we talk 4x4s. We're going to do a little bit of elections. We've got some knife making coming up, and perhaps we'll play with Lego this week. So wherever you find yourself, thank you for joining us on Dive Time. It's good to have you with us. What are we doing first, Greg?
We're going to look at some news. We're going to look at some international news, some current news, and maybe some new gear.
There are about a million buttons to push. I see we've got some people asking if we have another person in the studio, and who is this blonde lady? Close to the microphone now.
Hi everybody, I'm Courtney Holmes. I'm a co-host of this show. I do a lot of the shop attacks and all those things that you'll get to see now. I do it with another co-host, Dagan Davis-Hannibal.
Let's pull Dagan in so that Dagan can say, how's it, Dagan? A big hello from you.
Hello, divers out there. How are you guys doing?
Okay, and Dagan and Courtney are part of the shop attack team. You'll see them as we go out to shops and we attack the industry. Okay, in news this week, Greg, what have we got?
All right, so we started looking at some international news, and back to one of my favorite places, Thailand. One of the most famous beaches in the world, Maya Bay, most famously known for its the movie The Beach, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, The Beach. That was in the movie was one of the most secret beaches in the world. Turned out to be the busiest. Thousands and thousands of people there every day visiting that beach, and what we found is doing a lot of damage to the environment, to the corals around it. So a couple months ago, Thai authorities shut the beach. And so over the last couple of months, we've had a lot of people having a look, see what's happening to the corals, to the marine life, and what we've seen is a massive amount of marine life flooding back into that bay. And the real news is the last couple of weeks, great sightings of large schools of black-tip reef sharks. So we know if the black-tip reef sharks are coming back in, these are little guys about a meter long in length. I used to dive with them daily there. We know if they're back, it means we've got a reef that is recovering. And that is our Thailand news.
All right, what else we got?
Well, local news.
Yes.
Some news out of Aliwal Shoal. Everyone knows Aliwal Shoal is a place you want to go when you want to see sharks. They've got little sharks, big sharks, all the sharks. But one shark that is very rare in that area is the largest shark of all, and that is the whale shark. And a couple of weeks ago, a couple of divers on a dive out there got to swim and dive with the whale shark just off Aliwal Shoal. So I believe that is the first sighting of whale sharks in Aliwal in the last couple of years.
That's real diving news, that.
That's real diving. That's real diving.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then, wow, it's been a big month for new gear. Europe gears up, gearing up for their launches of new products. We're not going to talk about too much today. We've got an incredible computer coming from ScubaPro. I'm going to say one word: heads-up display.
And what heads-up display?
Heads-up display. Wow. So we'll learn more about that. But really, the big news this week out of the German dive show is Mars is launching a new semi-closed circuit rebreather. So this is a rebreather for, as I believe, for recreational diving. Every time we get a new rebreather on the market, people say this is going to revolutionize diving. I don't quite believe that, but it certainly will bring an element of rebreathing into recreational side. So if you are a photographer or you like to do those 2-3 hour dives, this is it. So they've got a really incredible machine, incredible features. It's really easy to use, simple to set up, no tools required, easy scrubber access. So that's what pulls out the carbon dioxide when we're breathing off it. It only weighs 12 kilos. So we can put on a plane, we can fly to where we're going. So we look forward to that product being launched in South Africa. And I'm pretty sure the moment that is launched, we will be diving it. We'll come back to you and let you know.
So tell me about this lodge that's for sale in Mozambique. Are we selling lodges on the show as well? By the way, as you watch on Facebook Live, on the Sodwana Bay page, or you may be looking at Radio Today right now, you could be on the Tom London page, you could be on the Dive Time page, you could be on any number of pages watching us live. Just pop your name into the comments section down below the video on Facebook Live so we can see you. Any comments or questions, you can pop them in there too. And we'll acknowledge you. We'll wave. We'll send you a how's it from the studios in Bel Air Shopping Centre. And we got some stuff happening. We've got people monitoring the sound. Thank goodness, because I'm the one with the finger trouble tonight. So we've got Francine Reinica says hi there. Love Sodwana. You said hello. Vanessa Taylor's on board this evening. Good evening, Vanessa Taylor. Vanessa Taylor says, hi, Tom London. And I think Alan Holmes, perhaps our father's on board as well. My girlfriend's on board. We've got some listeners. Ilse Bosman says, no audio, or is it just me? No, it was me. I take full responsibility for the finger problems at the start of the show. And hopefully we'll keep going without any trouble. We've got Reno from Milan, who's also, thank you, Reno. Anytime you see the sound not working, please let me know. And then I'll just quickly press the right button. That means I've forgotten my job. And what else have we got? AD, yes. Ilse Bosman, okay, the sound's back on. Sodwana Bay page says, nice, enjoy the show. Dave Ravenstone says, give us a wave to let us know you're here with us live. Who's on board? Conrad is on board. Greg, what can you see in the comments section?
Well, I just got a hi from Mike and Zelda in Sodwana right now. Some of our favorite people out of Mozambique. A couple of store owners checking in. Hi there, Conrad. Good to see you join us.
Mike Minnie says, Mike and Zelda here. We were diving there at Sodwana over the weekend. Absolutely perfect. It was great. Another comment coming in. We'll take your comments. We'll take your questions. We'll take anything you want to pop into the dive show. This is your show. This is a show that we're growing for the dive community. And that's you. So anything you want to say, any questions you've got as we go along, or contributions you want to make, please consider yourself part of the show. Good evening. It's 7:22. This is Radio Today. I'm Tom London, your host. I know very little about diving. That's why we've got the experts in the studio. The expert is Greg Holmes. Greg is a course director for PADI, an all-round nice guy, and I can say that because he's my brother. Part of the team, Courtney and Dagan, are our shop attack squad. They go off and do gear reviews. You'll be seeing a bit from them in the show today. This evening, and we've got Tonya Khoury and Paige Tanner from Sodwana Bay. They'll be popping in just now, and we're going to be popping over to where we're going today. Greg, Scubaversity. We're going to visit them.
Yeah, we did a shop attack on Mandy at Scubaversity, so we'll be playing that video shortly.
All right, tell me about the lodge in Mozambique. I'm interested in this.
Well, we had a reach out. Peter from Pumen. He's building a lodge, and he joined our group, and he said, "Hello, we're building a lodge in Pumen." And we're looking for somebody who wants to live the dream and come open a dive center inside their lodge. We don't know too much about it. He sent us some beautiful photos. So if there's anyone who wants to relocate, wants to move to Mozambique, become a beach bum and do some diving, we can put you in contact with Peter.
Right, so if you like the look of that lodge, that's on screen now if you're watching on Facebook. If you're listening on the radio, I can tell you it's gorgeous and it's on the beach. And when you walk out of your bedroom door, you tiptoe to the water. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, I know I've never been to Mozambique, but you've told me many times that it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. For anybody listening who hasn't been to Mozambique, why? Why is it so beautiful?
So I've been to a lot of islands around the world, a lot of places you would say is paradise, but there is no paradise like Mozambique. That Pumen area is absolutely beautiful.
Right, and that's if you want to get in touch with the owner of that property who wants to develop it or sell it, you can call Dave. Dave is our show producer. Where's Dave? Can we get producer Dave to pop his head in between Courtney and... all right. Right, so there's producer Dave. That's the producer of the Dive Time show. You can call Dave. You've got the number on the screen if you want to get hold of the owner of that lodge. If you're in the mood to buy something, 081-728-0667. If you're listening on the radio, write it down, 081-728-0667. Now, we are off to our very first local destination, and I believe we did a shop attack. Is that right?
There we go.
Welcome to Shop Attack with Courtney and Dagan. We're on our way to our unsuspecting victims, Scubaversity.
Scubaversity is the biggest dive club in Johannesburg, so let's go see what they have for us. Shotgun driving.
Welcome to Shop Attack. I'm here at Scubaversity with the owner Mandy. So tell me, Mandy, a little bit about Scubaversity.
Okay, well, we've been around for 25 years. Last year we celebrated 25 years. We started out as a small little business in Shamdor Breweries. That's where we started. And then one day decided either we're going to go to Greece or we're going to start a business, and ended up buying this property. And from there on, we've just grown into it. We've got about 5,000 members, quite an active club. We do a lot of trips, and we're very good at socializing.
So Mandy, tell us a little bit about what you have planned for 2019.
Well, at Scubaversity, we every year have a year plan. So for our club members, we sit and we work it out, and we make sure that they know exactly what we're doing and when we're doing it. So if you look here, you'll see this is our calendar for this year. On the front we've got our dive center, and the saying, from what life gives us we make a living, and through Scubaversity we make a lifestyle. So all about lifestyle, and every month we've got everything planned. So
you can find it all here in this calendar.
Absolutely. So you can know when you want to do what course, when you want to do. There's Sodwana in February, Mozambique in March, and we just plan it all the way through. And this year's calendar, what we wanted to do is we want to put this behind someone's desk, and when they look at it they must think, why on earth am I not scuba diving?
Yeah.
So we've chosen a motivational theme. For the rich there's therapy, for the rest of us there's scuba diving. But yes, it's all planned up front. The customers and the club members all know when we're doing what. It makes life a little bit easier when you're running a dive center, when you know what you're supposed to do.
We want to know a bit more about your instructor internship program.
Okay, so we started that 10 years ago. We call it the Blue Ocean program, and that is just because we want to introduce youngsters into the theory that you've got a blue ocean out there when you become an instructor, and you can just travel the world and enjoy life and live other people's holidays and other people's dreams. So we run it full time. It's for 12 months, and during that period they are learning how to become an instructor, but also learning about dive center management and being in the business of diving. So when they walk out, they were able to walk into a business and add value other than just being an instructor.
Wow.
And if we want to get into diving, if we don't know anything about diving, what do we have to do?
Okay, that's easy. You just give us a call or send us an email. I think the easiest way to do it is what we call a try dive. So try dive, we just take you in the pool on 1 meter, put your head in the water, breathe on scuba and see what it feels like. It's a nice way to decide if it's something that you like to do. There's also a Discover Scuba, where we do a little bit of skills that you would do when you do your open water course, and then from there on it's easy. Then we've twisted the rubber arm.
So just pop into Scubaversity at any time, and they will help you out and hook you up with whatever diving you need to do.
And that's the tax squad. Thank you, Courtney. Well done. Hey, you did okay there. Huh? You're doing all right. Eh? How was it being a TV and radio star for the very first time?
It's a little nerve-wracking, but it is super fun, super awesome, and I can't wait to keep doing it.
All right, you can hear the gorgeous voice of Courtney, and you can see what she looks like. She's just as gorgeous as the voice by popping along to the Dive Time page and liking it. We are broadcasting thank you to the Sodwana Bay page tonight. Thank you to Paige Tanner, who will be joining us in just a little while to talk about Sodwana Bay. Right, shall we move on to the international world destination, a world diving destination? Where are we off to today, Greg?
We're going to take you to Egypt.
Egypt?
Yeah, Egypt. A lot of people look at me and go, Egypt? There's diving in Egypt? Isn't that desert? Yeah, it's desert, but you have the Red Sea, which is absolutely amazing. It really is one of the world's top dive destinations, and we've been quite fortunate to get there the last couple of years, and I think most dive stores have an Egypt trip on their itinerary each year. So if this is something that interests you, pop down to your local dive shop and ask them, hey, what about Egypt? So generally what we do is we fly over there for 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
And we hop on a liveaboard boat. So we have beautiful 20 berth, 24 berth liveaboard boats, and we just cruise around and dive. And it's more eat, sleep, dive, eat, sleep, dive, eat, sleep, repeat, as we said last time.
You can't just say cruise around and dive. Tell us what we're going to see if we go along to the Red Sea.
All right, so the Red Sea is phenomenal. We have it's broken into a northern trip and a southern trip, so most of the stores will introduce you to the northern trip first, and that is generally about a 6-7 day cruise with about 20 dives, night dive, with a mix of reef and wreck. So we have some of the world's top wrecks to dive. Abu Nuhas is an area. We have amazing dives there, the Crisulu K, the Giannis D, the Carnatic, and these are incredible dives, all within a few hundred meters of each other, all within 30 meters, so very diveable. Most of those wrecks you can go inside. Phenomenal. Another wreck that is probably one of the best in the world, the Thistlebaum, sunk in World War II, so we dropped down on that wreck, and it is full of bombs and guns.
Like real bombs?
Real bombs, Tom, real bombs. Bombs, guns, jeeps, trucks, motorbikes. So it's a large wreck. So we do a dive on the outside, we do a dive on the inside, and if you're lucky, you night dive it. And you literally are diving over history. If you're World War II buff, this is World War II history. It's crazy to be inside a ship, in the hold, looking down at BSA motorbikes, Bedford trucks, Enfield rifles. It's phenomenal. And then to match that, we've got the reefs. We've got the Ras Mohammed National Park, where whatever you've seen, reef-wise, coral-wise, this is just bigger, it's brighter, it's full of fish, full of reef fish. It is amazing. It gets even better as you go around the eastern side of Sinai and you get to the Straits of Tehran. You got 700 meter drop-offs. You don't dive that deep. You sit at about 20 meters and you just are blown away by the corals, the schools of fish. We were lucky last year. We saw thresher sharks. We saw hammerheads. It's amazing. It's not just a dive. It's a 10-day of absolute luxury lifestyle. You just eat, dive, sleep and party at night.
So where are you, on a charter boat?
Yeah,
what are the charter boats
absolutely.
like?
So generally you fly into Cairo and then there's two options, down to a town called Hurghada or across to Sharm el Sheikh. We like to spend a night or two in a 5-star Hilton in Sharm, and we just sit by the pool and we just relax, and then jump on the charter boat. So the charter boat generally is a 20, 22, 24 berth boat, so 2 people per cabin, and then we just cruise around this blue water and dive. It is amazing. Generally the 10 days feel like 30. One of the most amazing dive spots.
I think Courtney's been on that, hasn't she?
A couple of times.
Courtney,
yeah.
you've been on that.
Yes, I have, and it is.
What was it like? So just describe it for us. Just tell us the story.
The most beautiful, most life, like it is so full of fish and coral, and it is the most beautiful thing I've ever done. The reefs are my favorite. I love shallow reef dives, but the wrecks are just as impressive there.
If you've just joined us, welcome to Dive Time. This is your Monday evening fix of scuba diving, the show for anybody and everybody who loves scuba diving, whether you have been diving for years or you're interested in diving, or you just have an interest in the ocean and ecology. That will pop up and be part of the show. Let's see what's happening in the comment section now. Who's monitoring comment section? Why don't you jump out the chair quickly, Courtney, and let's get Dave to sit in here. I know has he made a radio debut before? Let's just say and introduce to all of our Dive Time family, Dave Ravenstone, the show producer. If you want to get hold of anybody on the show and you send a message through to Dive Time, you'll get hold of Dave. How's it, Dave? You doing good?
Good evening. Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Right, what's happening in the comment section?
All right, well, basically, we've got a whole bunch of people coming in, just saying hello, and a lot of folks saying hello from Sodwana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so welcome to everyone there on the chats. Don't forget, if you're on the chat and you're watching us live on the Facebook Live chat feed, don't forget to smash that like button, smash that love button, and share it, because sharing is caring.
All right, I'm going to hit the heart sign now. And I see we've got a couple of people saying signal not too good tonight, so we're watching that, we're monitoring it, and as we move along with Dive Time over the weeks, we will be improving whatever needs to be improved. So if it's signal that needs to be improved, we'll improve it. If it's audio, we'll improve it. This is the very first. You're the guinea pigs as you watch tonight. You're the guinea pigs as you listen to us, as we mix different platforms together on Dive Time. So bear with us, I guess, is what we're saying. Be part of this family, because that's what this is really. It's to create a dive community and a family out of divers. What's your vision for Dive Time, Craig?
Well, really, the vision of Dive Time is I work a lot with a lot of the industry players, the wholesalers, the retailers, agencies, and we really want to get it out there. We want to get new blood into the diving. We want to get the millennials and we want to get the youngsters in diving, as well as those who have dived and forgotten. There's a lot of you out there that dived 10, 15 years ago. The equipment is sitting in your cupboards and you've just forgotten about the magic of diving. You know, one of the most common things we hear in diving is, I've always wanted to do this. So my advice is, the best thing to do is just do it. Just walk into your nearest dive center, the nearest dive store, dive club, and say, I want to dive.
I see the station manager, Daryl Peel, is saying, dude, talk into the light on the mic, not on top of the mic. That's to you, apparently.
Is that to me? All right, sorry, first time.
One day we'll get Daryl in to talk on the microphone. I don't think he has yet. All right. What else is going on in the comment section? You picking up on any of the conversation? I just say good evening to a couple of people. Adam Ford is watching. Kevin Marum is watching. Paige Tanner's on board. Bernice Tucker Wilson is here. Damien Schmidt is with us. Tonya Curry is on board, as well as many other people from around South Africa and Sodwana. Anything you're picking up on the conversation that you want to reply to? I see.
I see Mike Polkenhorn from Australia. Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
We've reached Australia.
And we've got Sarah Jane. Who is Sarah Jane? We should get together sometime. Hey, David, who's Sarah Jane? Everybody want to tell us who Sarah Jane is?
Sarah Jane is a really, really awesome friend of ours. She has been supporting us the whole time doing this, and we thank her for that. We love her, all the support in the world.
All right, so that is, when you say this, it's learning to become dive masters. The two of them are our two dive masters on the show. The Millennial Dive Masters. Huh? Okay, we're going to have a segment now called In My Experience, and for this I'd like to speak to Paige Tanner. Now this is quite an interesting story, because some time ago I was working at another radio station and I just started a weekend breakfast show, and I didn't know what song I was going to use to start the show. And it turned out that Paige was busy selling CDs for children with children's songs on, and she made a song called Wake Up Tom. And I'm just going to move this mic so that you're right in front of it. In fact, I need to move you, Paige, so that you're right in front of the microphone. And yeah, that one comes apart quite easily. So we'll leave it like that, and then you'll put your mouth very close to the green part. How's that? Okay, so welcome, Paige. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Tom. Good to be back in the studio with you 15 years later.
Yeah, it was 15 years ago that you brought a song called Wake Up Tom to my studio, which went something like, wake up, Tom, it's time to start your day. Wake up, Tom, it's time to start your day. So it's been a while. See, I'm not on camera. Someone moved that camera. So put it back on me, please.
It's been a while, Tom, and we're bringing you much better things tonight.
Now, tell me about Sodwana Bay, the Sodwana Bay page.
Wake up, Tom. It's time to visit us in Sodwana Bay. So, yeah, Tom, it's an honor to be here from our little piece of paradise.
So now we've got the dive community round the table.
Yeah, kind of strange to be here. Let's put some shoes on.
I keep hearing about Sodwana Bay. Let's get Tonya Curry in here. She's also part of the show. Well, she said she's part of the show. We'll put Tonya on as well. Tonya, that microphone there, because you can't share a mic. Right.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Close to the mic. You're not close enough. Close.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, and don't shout. Right. So that's Tonya Curry, and we've got Paige Tanner in the studio. We're talking about the Sodwana Bay page. Tell me about, firstly, Sodwana Bay. How did you land up there?
Oh, Tom, Sodwana Bay is just an amazing little hidden piece in the corner of South Africa up there. The diving led me that way, Sodwana Bay being a premier South African dive destination. And then, as I think most people will tell you, once you get to Sodwana, you get Sodwana fever.
Is there such a thing?
It's called the Hotel Sodwana.
All right,
you can check in, but you can never leave.
Yeah, Tonya Curry, is this
Quite a
true?
few times.
Oh, what do you think, Tom?
I can't hear you if you're not talking into the microphone.
You know that I'm under duress being in Johannesburg, don't you?
What? Yes, you hate being here, and all you want to do is be in
Sodwana Bay.
Why?
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
Why?
It has that magic. There's only one word for Sodwana, and that's magic. It's not just about the diving, is it, Paige?
No, it's not. Sodwana's just got the whole absolute experience. It's just such a special place, Tom. It's got an amazing community. We've got incredible biodiversity, both in the ocean, on land. We've got amazing diving. We've just got everything going. You actually can't understand Sodwana, I think.
So take me back to the beginning when you got there. Tell me your story. Tell me your Sodwana story.
My Sodwana story, I came to Sodwana Bay at the end of 2000. I came in as a brand new instructor and I got myself a job with Santon Scuba. Santon Scuba.
Wow. Okay.
In Sodwana. Santon Scuba used to run the shop on the beach, and we used to have a camp in an 80-sleeper camp in the campsite. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, Santon Scuba was run by a bunch of reprobates. The bosses were in Santon and we were in Sodwana.
Oh wow.
We did a bit of scuba and a lot of fun. And a few years later, needless to say, they sold out, and then Coral Divers took over that shop, and my journey kind of continued off to Scuba Centre, Sodwana Bay Lodge, overseas, back to Triton, Amore. I've been all around.
And what do you do now?
Around town. Right now I run the Sodwana Bay page, I run the Sodwana Bay website, and then I'm involved in my own small business, shops and things.
What's life like in Sodwana Bay? What's it? I mean, you get up in the morning and what's it, for us city folk, and there are a lot of people listening in the city.
Generally,
Tonight.
get up in the morning, amazing, fresh air, beautiful sunrise, coffee on the veranda. Then generally for me, off to the shop, traffic. In
Really?
Goonies.
There's traffic in Sodwana
In
Bay?
Goonie cattle.
In Goonie
Tell me
cows.
about the
It's a major
traffic.
problem. We don't have stop streets, we don't have robots, but we have in Goonies.
And goats.
Generally, and goats. And wheelbarrows, sometimes with people in them, sometimes without. Basically, generally, quite often you have to get out and clear the traffic on the little sand road to my house.
And is it very seasonal?
It is seasonal, but we have a fairly reasonable foreign visitor rate, and we have quite a lot of foreigners coming in. Sodwana, pretty much, obviously we have our busy seasons, but even during the quiet season, the boats launch pretty much every day of the year. Yeah.
Tell me about the diving. I'm going to ask my brother to come back and add to what you're saying.
Amazing.
What's it like diving Sodwana?
Sodwana has incredible diving. We've got such amazing biodiversity. I mean, Sodwana Bay, on the reefs, we have more than 1,300 different species of fish. I mean, that in itself. In the world, there are only 7 species of turtles, and 5 of them occur in Sodwana Bay. That again, the leatherbacks and the loggerheads even nest on our beaches. It's currently turtle season. So that's a huge draw to Sodwana, especially for foreigners as well, to come and see the loggerheads and the leatherbacks nesting. And right now the hatchlings are hatching and making their way back into the sea. So that's a really amazing experience.
Oh wow. Greg, you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, Sodwana Bay it's a magical place. It's kind of like on its own. It's nowhere near anything else. So you drive 7 hours to get there, and then it's just incredible. It is, I think, if I'm correct, the southernmost area where you'll get hard corals and all the full range of reef fish and so on. And it's just easy. And
Tell me about the coral.
Well, so corals are divided into hard corals and soft corals. We were going to go into coral later. Is that what you want to talk about?
No, just Sodwana coral.
So Sodwana coral. Well, it's diverse, and it ranges from 10 meters down deeper, 30-40 meters. But it kind of caters to all divers: open water divers, advanced divers, and even technical divers. You know, this is one of the places in the world where there are divers that dive with coelacanths. And I think this is the only place in the world where divers dive a fish, a dinosaur, in essence. It's prehistoric, and for hundreds of years everyone thought it didn't exist anymore until they found it. And so there's everything from beginner divers to the most technical divers out there.
Tanya Curry's in the background saying, ask him about the dip or something. What is that?
Tell us how deep it is to dive with the coelacanths.
Oh, that's in I think the shallowest coelacanth site I think it's Christopher Njasveld, am I correct? Is in the mid 50 meters.
In deep cut.
Yeah, in deep cut. But
that's a cool name.
Yeah, deep cut. But
no one's got to the bottom of the cut.
No one's ever got to the bottom of the deep cut.
No, but generally those coelacanths are found at 110 meters plus. That's where they were found the first time, and there are regular expeditions down to those depths to see if they can find them and film them.
Wow. Okay, what about accommodation? And is this where the Sodwana Bay page comes in? Can we find accommodation? What will we find on the Facebook page, Sodwana Bay?
Well, the Facebook page is just a general kind of news feed where we try to give a bit of general, non-specific, not specific to any company, just general news, what's going on, a bit of dive report, fishing report, that kind of thing. But on every post you'll see a link to the Sodwana Bay website. And on the website we've got all the information where you can find sort of activities to do, accommodation. Sodwana has everything, right from backpackers, you can roll in with your tent into a very basic campsite with no power, all the way up to very high-end, fully catered lodging. So it really has something for everybody in every budget, and diving-wise too, something for everyone. You come and try diving, and within a day you're in the water.
Paige Tanner is in studio with us. Paige runs the Sodwana Bay page on Facebook. Go to it now and like it and be part of the Sodwana Bay community online. I have this picture on my screen. I'm going to put it on now, but I'll just describe it for our radio listeners. It looks like a whole bunch of people getting together at night having some kind of festival. So does that happen often? People getting together and social?
Sodwana is a pretty social little town. We have a very well-known saying that it's a small drinking town with a diving problem. That's pretty much Sodwana's motto. Yeah, that's kind of it. That sums it up. So the Sodwana people like to work hard and play hard. But yeah, we're also busy trying to get some festivals. The Tipsy Turtle is one that have started recently. Get some new festivals and music festivals and just some general other fun stuff, land-based fun stuff to bring in the families and make
What's the best time of the year to go to Sodwana?
Oh, it's debatable all year.
Really?
February is probably absolute prime time.
Greg?
Beautiful weather.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even winter, when it's cold up in Josie, it's warm down in Sodwana. So Sodwana is great all year round, and that's what makes it such a great destination.
You're listening or watching to Dive Time on radio today, 1485 medium wave across Gauteng, across Africa and South Africa on the DSTV bouquet on channel 869. You can stream the audio on TuneIn. Look for the TuneIn streaming app and look for 1485 radio today. This evening we are broadcasting live on Facebook, so if you're listening to the radio and you want to check out what we look like, then, and there I am. Oh Lord, he needs to do his hair, Doris. Then just pop along to the Facebook page, any Facebook page, Radio Today's Facebook page, Greg Holmes' Facebook page, Dive Time's Facebook page, but we are broadcasting through and via, and thank you, Paige, for the use of your page tonight, the Sodwana Bay page. It's wonderful having you here. Anything you want to shout out before you go? Any website addresses or any places we can
basically
visit?
just like I said, the Sodwana Bay website, you can pretty much find everything you need there. It's sodwana-bay.co.za. And we can help you with all your things. And then, just a shout out to all the friends in Sodwana that are watching tonight.
Yeah, you know what?
Well done, guys. I don't think many of them know about Facebook Live. We worked it out.
We will teach Sodwana Bay. We will get you guys online.
And we will teach you about Sodwana Bay.
Okay, listen, I'm going to hit the heart button on the phone, right? So on the Facebook page now, there's just going to, we call this a heart fountain on my show I do in the morning. And here we go. You see a heart fountain, that is for you and for Sodwana Bay. Thank you, Paige Tanner, for coming in. It's always wonderful seeing you, even if it's once every 15 years.
I'll see you next time. I'll still be diving. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, let's take a look at the gear review now. And for our gear review, I've got to press the right button. So here we go. We sent Courtney and Dagan. Where did we send them off to?
We send it to ScubaPro.
Send it to ScubaPro to go review a fin, I believe.
Correct.
And I've learned not to call them
Flippers.
flippers.
Flippers
I've
and
learned,
dolphin.
so I've learned don't call fins flippers, and goggles are not goggles, they are
Masks.
masks. Right, you teach me, okay?
Don't call them flippers.
Right, and why do you fall backwards out of a boat?
Because you can't fall forwards.
Ah, well done. Okay, she knows that one. Okay, so let's take a look and see where you went and what you did in the gear review.
Hi everybody, we've popped in at ScubaPro quickly to take a look at their newest gear. They've got some interesting stuff to show us, so follow me inside. Let's go.
We are here with Steve Resniak. We're going to be talking a bit about the Seawing Nova. Hi Steve.
Hi, how are you doing, guys? Welcome. Thanks very much for having me on.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, so Seawing Nova is not actually a brand new product. It's a product that's on the market at the moment. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time to explain why we've come up with such a sort of revolutionary design with respect to fins. And kind of our feeling with respect to the fins is you've got this massive thing on the end of your foot, which is taking a lot of energy for you to move through the water. The reality in terms of the fin is that only a small portion of the real estate of the fin is actually creating the thrust for you. So what we're actually trying to achieve with the fin is to get the majority of the blade at a 45-degree angle of attack. If you can get that to move through the water at 45 degrees, it means the water's deflecting at 90 degrees, and that's your best shot at propulsion moving forward. Okay, so what we tend to find on traditional fins that are out there is that you've got a massive blade, but it bends, which means that you only have a very, very small section in the center or mid sort of section of the blade that is actually creating the 45-degree angle of attack. So we've stolen a couple of ideas from aerodynamics and hydrodynamics. And it's a very fancy term for actually a very simple thing. They call it tetradihedral aerodynamics and aerodynamics, but in this case hydrodynamics. It's a very fancy term for something that actually is very, very simple. So the idea behind the blade, just in terms of how the blade works, is as you are thrusting on the blade is unable to bend like that. It actually flexes like that. Okay, and I know this is obviously not great from a radio point of view for those of you that can't see it, but the idea behind that is that you get the entire blade to then get to a 45-degree angle of attack. What's important from that perspective as well is, aside from giving you the best shot of propulsion, on the Seawing Nova 2, irrespective of whether you're kicking the blade hard, so swimming into a current or flat out, or you are gently ambling along the reef on a good viz day with no current, the blade flexes to 45-degree angle of attack every single time. So it's not a case of if you kick it hard, the blade kind of goes a little bit too far up and you have a bleed of the power or thrust going upwards, or you kick it too softly and you've got lots of drag as a result of the fin, which generally where you start to see divers sculling is as a result of them not being able to get to the correct angle of attack in terms of the blade. So the other side with respect to the blade, giving you the best sort of propulsion forward, it is also exceptionally efficient, and generally that's been our problem with fin design, is you either have a blade that is very stiff, it's very quick, but you expend a lot of energy to move it through the water. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got a blade that is very flexible, so it doesn't require a lot of energy, you don't expend a lot of energy kicking through the water, but it's not very fast. So this is kind of first time in the industry that we've ended up with a blade that is the high performance fin, but not at the expense of efficiency. So, and that's really what we wanted to do from a diving point of view, is not exert our divers too much. Okay. Great stuff. The other side of the blade, just traditionally, the section that joins the foot pocket onto the actual blade itself is usually built up on most fins that are out there. We've taken all of that real estate away. The idea behind that is in a power stroke, as you're kicking down, generally the more surface area that you have here, in a thrust stroke like that, the water is actually coming this way and moving that way, which means that it's taking the diver backwards as opposed to forwards. So in other words, you're having to overcome that drive on that drag on a traditional fin in order to get the propulsion. So better from that perspective. Probably the most revolutionary side with respect to the Seawing Nova and also the Hydros Pro BCD is we've designed it out of a material which is a single material. It's a polymer called monoprene. And usually what you find in terms of fin design is it is either made out of a thermoplastic or it is a cross material of sort of a rubber, a softish rubber, co-molded with a thermoplastic. The idea behind the monoprene, first of all, is that it is an exceptionally durable material. So yeah, from the durability perspective, it really is off the charts from that point of view.
Was ScubaPro, is that right, Craig?
That's right, ScubaPro, Steve from ScubaPro.
How important is it to get the fin right when you go diving?
Very.
Oh, absolutely. You're diving in varying conditions. There are some conditions that are like swimming pool. It's really easy and you've got a nice, easy fin. But then sometimes you can find yourself in pretty tough conditions where you've got some current or you want to get across and then you need a fin that you've got some power. So we look for fins out there that give us power but that are also efficient in the water, as well as that comfortable on your foot. And as well, they must look good.
Okay, what have we got coming up next? I'm just taking a look at our running order, and I think we're almost at the end, aren't we?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is talk a little bit of eco. That really is part of the reason why we're doing the show. We want to bring a bit of eco into it and some awareness on what's going on around. You know, we've got so much awareness on single-use plastics and so on. We hope to talk about that in the future, but I thought...
Okay, well, let's take a look at the eco update now. It's 5 minutes to 8, and it's time to talk about eco. Is it eco diving? What do we call it? You know, eco.
Well, it's awareness. You know, it's awareness to the environment. The ocean is so important to our survival. What most people don't know is it's the coral reefs that produce oxygen and not necessarily the rainforests only. So we have to look after our reefs, and looking after our reefs, we're looking after ourselves.
Right, let's talk about coral.
Well, we'll start with some very basics with coral, and that is, firstly, coral is not a plant. It is an organism or an animal, or multiple organisms, animals living together. And it's a very finely balanced ecosystem, and what we do, even in Johannesburg, can affect the ecosystem 1,000 kilometers away. So we're going to look at the organisms itself. So corals found on the fringes of land, they have so many purposes to stop erosion. They are nurseries to smaller schools, hiding holes for bigger fish, and so much. But when you look at coral itself, coral is generally broken into two main categories. That is hard coral and soft corals. So that's where Sodwana Bay is where the hard corals start, and then we move on into the tropics. Generally, hard corals are found in the warm waters, and different types. You know, we got staghorn coral, brain coral, so many different types, and within those corals is a relationship with an organism or algae. I'm going to try to get this right, called zooxanthellae.
Oh yes.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've always pronounced it something different and learned today. So zooxanthellae is an algae that lives within the coral. So the coral becomes the shell, the body that zooxanthellae live in, and they have a symbiotic relationship together. And this relationship is so important in that it keeps the ecosystem going. So what you find is you have your corals, your polyps, they grow one on top of the other, and they create coral. And then within that coral, the zooxanthellae live. And they live together. The corals provide the shelter, they provide nitrates and nutrients for zooxanthellae. And the zooxanthellae, they photosynthesize and also clean out the nitrates that we find inside the corals. So they need it. And so what we find is when we get a coral that is stressed, so either silt or sediment from building that can land on it, or sharp rise or drop in temperatures, corals can get stressed. They could expel the zooxanthellae. The zooxanthellae may leave because they've been starved because of silt, and then you get stressed coral. So that's why we start seeing bleaching happen. So I believe you have a few photos of bleached coral. So coral that's bleached, that's a coral that's either stressed or could be dead. and the zooxanthellae have left, and so they just start drowning in their own nitrates and so on. And it's difficult to bring a coral back from that. It depends on how long they are without this. So often you will be diving and you'll see this white coral out there. Something has happened. You know, it could be a drop in temperature, a sharp rise in temperature. It could be something was on top of the coral. You know, sometimes we dive and we see plastic bags on the coral, fishing nets, and so on. And with that, the coral gets stressed, and then we have damage. Corals take a long time to grow. I think the fastest growing coral, the staghorn coral, grows 1 centimeter per year. So the reefs that we see, they've taken thousands and thousands of years to grow to what they are. It's very quick to damage, but so long to grow, and that's why we've got to take them so seriously. We need to protect them.
I'm going to put a picture of healthy coral up.
Absolutely, it's beautiful.
How's that?
No, that's it.
Is that what it should look like? It was a beautiful, our understanding of coral reefs is all these beautiful, brightly colored corals, and that's what it's supposed to look like.
Absolutely, you know, brightly colored corals with bright fish swimming through them, and that is it. You know, words cannot describe how beautiful it is down there. You know, for years I spent time in national parks looking at animals, and you would spend hours driving around to try to see one thing, and once you submerge and you hit your head in that water, and it just opens up. You cannot stop seeing things underwater, and it's amazing.
We've got some questions coming in on the comment section, and producer Dave is busy having chats to some of our new Dive Time family members. But I just want to pass a couple of things over to you. What about, see, Mike Minnie says, I'm a left foot amputee and I only use one fin. What's going to work the best for me?
Well, there, I think you need a fin that gives you great propulsion. With fins, it quite often works. The more you spend, the better the fin you get.
Okay.
So tonight we featured the ScubaPro Nova, Seawing Nova fin. It's known for great propulsion, but again, not a lot of drag in the water. I think the best to do is try them all out and see what gives you the greatest control.
Taking a look at the other comments popping up in the room, we have had some broadcast interrupted issues on Facebook tonight, and we'll take a look at that a little bit later on and see how we can get past those problems. Maybe a network problem, but you know, it's our pilot show. It's the very first one. If you're joining us on the first episode of Dive Time, thank you very much. I'm busy pressing about 10 million buttons at once. So from time to time you won't see my face on the screen when you should, and from time to time I might press a button and it all goes pear-shaped. But I promise you, with a little bit of practice, I'm like a dog. I'm like an intelligent dog. It only takes me about 2 weeks before I know how to do all the tricks. And if you've just joined us and wondering who's in the studio, what are we talking about? Good evening to you. I'm Tom London. This is Radio Today on 1485 medium wave. You can tune in to us on DSTV channel 869 around Africa and South Africa. And the TuneIn app, you can stream us wherever you are in the world on 1485 Radio Today. Look for that, as well as Facebook Live tonight on our various Facebook pages, including Radio Today and the Sodwana Bay page. Go along and like that. Where can people go and like the page, Dagan? Where do we go if we want to like Dive Time? Just explain the process to us.
Okay, so obviously we just first log on to Facebook. We go search Dive Time, and then we basically follow the page. Check out all of our new videos, new photos, events coming up, and yeah.
Nice, and well done to the two of you on your shop attacks. It's your very first time broadcasting and your first time in a radio studio, and I think it's everyone's first time here besides me. And you're all sounding better than me, perhaps. You're doing well. Well done. Nice to have you on board. You want to say hello to anybody tonight? Anybody who's in the comments section? Anybody you've been chatting with? What have you noticed?
Well, a lot of our friends and family and random people as well have come to support us. Thank you to all of them, really. If I had to name all of them, I'd be out of breath. There's that many who are being so nice and so supportive to us. So thank you to everybody, really. That's amazing.
So our episode will be on every Monday between 7 and 8 p.m. We'll try and start as close to 7 as possible every Monday, and you can join us on the different platforms. Obviously, we want you to join us on Facebook Live and interact and watch the show. You can also watch the show later on. It will be on all our respective pages. You can watch it at your leisure, tonight, tomorrow. Share with a friend, and of course we appreciate shares. So if you're able to and want to share Dive Time, please share this broadcast and go along and like the Dive Time page. Well, we got through it, and for a little while I didn't think we would tonight, guys. Where's Grant the fridge? Is he still here? There's an extra member of the team we need to introduce. So Grant, Courtney, if you'll pop out of that chair and Fridge joins us. Fridge will be joining us, and Fridge is familiar to my Daily Dose of Happiness show in the morning, and if you're wondering what that means, just look for Tom London and join us in the morning. We, a couple of us, we get together in the morning and we make each other happy.
Yeah.
Without being obscene. We just smile and be nice.
We try and behave.
Have you dived? I mean, there's a diving connection.
Yes.
What's your story? Tell me your diving story.
The only place I've dived in is Thailand. Well, apart from my training dives.
So Greg lived in Thailand. Courtney grew up on a beach on PB Island.
Yes,
isn't that nice?
That's where I dived. That location that's now closed. We came up there, and yeah, it was absolutely beautiful.
And how long has it been since you dived? It's like going to an AA meeting.
Years.
Hi, I'm
11
Fridge.
years now. Yeah.
Really? And so how many people do you come across, Greg, who haven't dived for 10 years?
Many. Many. It's quite common. You know, diving is something that consumes you. You start it, you enjoy it, you buy the equipment, you dive. And then you miss out a weekend, you miss out a month, and then you miss a year, and the equipment gets packed deep in the cupboard and so on. And 10 years later, you realize I haven't dived for a while, and then now it's daunting. You know, what do we do? You know, how do I dive again if I haven't done it for so long? Well, it's like riding a bicycle. It truly is. The best thing to do, get hold of your local dive store, local dive club, and do a refresher. This can be something can be done in a pool in half a morning. And get back in, and then really what we really want you to do is get in your car, drive down to Sodwana or Alawal Shoal or Ponta d'Ora, or jump on an airplane and come with us to Thailand or Red Sea or Bali or Indonesia, and dive and tell your friends, and let's create more divers. The more divers we've got, the more the industry can thrive. The more work we can do on the aware side, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done to create awareness on what's happening in our oceans. So, Grant, come back. Come back and dive with us.
All right. And how do you come back if you haven't dived for a while? What's the entry point back in?
Well, the first thing is if you have got some dive gear sitting in the cupboard and it's been sitting there a while, take it into a dive store and get it serviced. Please don't go dive on equipment that's been sitting for 10 years. And then any dive store, any dive club will run regular scuba reviews, refreshers, and so on. And they'll run you through from kit setup, how to put the gear together, how to breathe again, how to equalize again, how to get the neutral buoyancy. Run you through a general set of skills that'll get you comfortable, and then they would invite you on a dive trip, whether it's a local dive in one of the local quarries we got, or down to the ocean. So it's as easy as it's just making the choice, making the decision, get into your dive store, and ask to dive again.
No excuses, Mr. Fridge.
I'm going to get back there, I promise. I've been listening to all those great stories about Sodwana, so I'm definitely going to make a trip.
Fridge might be moving, maybe, overseas. What if someone moves overseas? What's the diving like in places like New Zealand and Australia?
Good day, Australia. No, well, we have friends in both those places. Australia is a big place. Most of the big cities are on the coast, so there's diving everywhere. But obviously, the Great Barrier Reef, extremely well known, the biggest reef in the world. Great diving there, great wrecks. And then places on the west coast as well. Ningala Reef out of Exmouth. That is one place in the world where you can see whale sharks like everywhere. So New Zealand too has a fair bit of diving. Again, it's a very coastal country. So again, the big cities are around the coast. So where there's water, there's divers, Tom.
Right, and that pretty much sums up the show tonight, doesn't it? That's the end. I think we're at the end. We're pretty much at the end, and I'm just going to remove a couple of the titles and straps for what will become quite an obvious reason in just a moment in time. When we were planning the show, as we were planning the running order, we thought of some people, and we're going to mention them in just a moment. But before we do, I'd like to invite you, as you listen to the radio tonight, and as you watch us on Facebook Live, wherever you find yourself, to join us again next Monday. Around 7 p.m. is when we start on Radio Today, as well as Facebook Live. And I hope if you've joined us for the first one, you're a founder member of the Dive Time program. We fully expect you to be back next week for the other one at 7 p.m. So from all of us to you, Should we have a big bye-bye like that? Just a bye from the team? Right, bye. We can see you. There's the camera there, so everyone wave with that one. We can see you from the Dive Time team. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Greg, I'm going to, over to you. We're going to have a moment's silence, actually, which is something quite rare on radio, but poignant in this case. And for about 10 to 15 seconds, if your radio goes quiet, there's a reason, and here it is.
Yeah, this show goes out to some great friends of ours we lost in a tragic accident last year.
And a moment of silence for those 4 people who I know were very important to you and the industry. Well, that's it. Dive Time number 1 over, with a couple of finger problems and broadcast interrupted. We'll get it a bit better next week. Come back.